Good evening, folks, and welcome to the War Party Paranormal Radio Show, where we will discuss all things paranormal. Hear firsthand eyewitness accounts from fellow team members and special guests. Now, for lead investigator and your host, Eric Vanderlaan, and co-host, Michael Del Toro.
What's up, everybody? Mike, it seems like it's been like forever, right?
I don't even know what I'm doing.
We were off last weekend or last Monday because of Memorial Day. So it seems like it's been like the longest time since we've been doing a radio show. Getting withdrawals.
I know. It's nice to be back.
Yep. So happy Monday, everybody, and welcome back to another show of War Party Paranormal Radio. And I'm Eric. I'm your host, and I'm the team leader of War Party Paranormal Research. And I got my good buddy over there.
What's up, guys? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is Mike Del Toro. I am a tech specialist and investigator with War Party Paranormal. And we have a awesome show for you guys tonight. It's one of the locations that we frequent a lot and hold public events at. And I'm going to let Eric tell you what we're getting into.
What's up, Captain? I got to give out my shout outs.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Dan Tex, what's up, buddy?
Dan Tex, what's up? And what's up, Richie, team member Richie. So anyway, what we're going to talk about tonight is like probably one of the most active places in Broward County. It's near Fort Lauderdale. This is the whole location, but each building, and there's three of them, have their own personalities and their own story to tell. And this place is in Davie, Florida. It's the old Davie Schoolhouse Museum. And it's not only the school, but they have two historical homes that used to be maybe like a mile away originally. And they were going to be up for being demolished. And they moved those two buildings to the property of the old Davie School, the museum, and they restored them. So they got a lot of great history and also a lot of paranormal activity. So we're going to only talk about one location, because if we talked about all three, it's going to be like a 4-hour night.
Yeah, exactly.
But
the nice thing is we can get 3 episodes out of that sucker.
Oh yeah. So stay tuned for the other buildings, because we'll be doing that. That's for sure. But we're going to be talking about the Viele House. It was built in the early 1900s, and to set the setting, Davie in Florida is just west of Fort Lauderdale, and it used to be all Everglades back there. And they started dredging canals and starting to get to drain the Everglades so the water goes out to the ocean to create farmland. So basically, that's what Davie originated as. It was farmland for orange groves in the early 1800s, and the old Davie Schoolhouse was the first school there. And there's 2 pioneer homes, and one of them we're going to be talking about tonight is the Viele House. And pretty much they built that house. They ordered it through a Sears catalog. Mike, you remember how much it was? It was like ridiculously cheap.
$2.50 a day they paid the carpenter to put it together.
Yeah,
I don't remember how much the whole house was exactly, but it's crazy. Yeah, they ordered it like pre-set up. The stuff comes and you put it together. And that SOB is still there and still hanging on strong through all the hurricanes, the floods, everything. And it's still in immaculate condition.
And another thing is that when they were bringing supplies all the way out west of Fort Lauderdale, which used to be the Everglades, it was on a barge through a canal. So that's how they brought everything about over there. Yeah. And there's like some interesting stories there that's creating paranormal activity, but I think it has a lot to do with the Native American history there, especially during the Seminole Indian Wars, because I mapped out the whole location, and we probably investigated maybe 5 different locations in that area that are all like archaeological sites for Native Americans, from Seminoles, from the Seminole Indian War, and then going all the way back 1,000 years to the Tequesta Indians.
Yeah, so it's crazy, that whole area. It's just, you have the multiple homes You have the school. You have all this heritage there. You know, it's a very active location.
And nearby, there's a burial ground, and we just recently investigated a bar there that has some activity. And I think the whole area, like, I think that Native American history, those sacred grounds, I think that throws fuel on the fire to increase paranormal activity.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to waste any more time because I love talking about this place. I won't stop. I'm going to play an intro, the Viele House.
All right, let's do it.
So what's up, Scotty? And let's let it roll.
So some of the first families that moved here, we actually have some of those houses here. Those are the houses that you'll be going into today. So the Viele family, it was Mr. Harry and Helen Viele and their son Charles Edward Viele. They moved here in 1912, and they hired a contractor $3 a day to build their home. You can't get that anymore. $3 a day. They originally were from Seattle, but they lived in South America for a little while, and Harry had some lung troubles, and so they needed the humidity. So he was like prescribed Florida, and they moved here. The picture that you see here is actually the original roof of the home. That roof blew off in a hurricane in 1926, but they weren't able to save the rest of the house, and so you'll see a new roof when you go out there today. That they were able to replace it with a different side.
In a session with Joe, and all of a sudden, I felt something behind me and got chills and tingling all over, and actually got lightheaded, and it was scary, but it was cool at the same time.
Awesome. So
This house, when we went upstairs and we were recording, and I asked what were the voices I was hearing downstairs, and I basically just got a loud scream of "get out."
So I got to give credit to Ernesto, Modern Mimes. Ernesto, one of our investigators. His rock band is Modern Mimes. So follow
I was
up.
just gonna say the same thing. That tune was jamming.
Yeah, that was a kick-ass tune. I had to throw it in there, but that's his music, so I want to give him a shout out. He's not listening right now, but no worries. But yeah, the Viele house has a lot of activity. I got more activity there than any of the three buildings there.
And how spooky is that attic, right? Like if you were to
the most active spot.
Yeah, and if somebody was like to say, "Hey, I want to film a scary movie, create me an attic," it would be this attic. I mean, it is super spooky looking, and they had a mannequin up there for a long time, and it used to like really spook a lot of people that weren't.
There's shadow figures in there too.
A lot of shadow movement.
So this is the type of activity we've gotten there. We've seen shadows moving around in the attic. We get EVPs, and we got EVPs not only from our recorders, from our cameras. We got our famous cat balls going off for no reason, and they're pretty much still. It's like kind of hard to move that. And the cat balls, they're based on motion. So if it moves, it'll light up. So we use that as a trigger object. And, just REM pods going off. The REM pods, they have an antenna and emit a static field. So if anything breaks that static field and gets close to the antenna, it alarms. So,
I mean, we have noticed that two like high-powered two-way radios will trigger them, but in this attic there is nothing. They're very far away from any electrical panels or anything like that. So yeah. It's definitely wild,
crazy. But before we bring everyone on, we do have the team back, so they're going to be coming on soon. I just want to show an EVP, which is freaking crazy, and I'm going to have to set up the scene. And Scotty just mentioned this on here. Bam, right there. Eric's EVP in the attic was the best. That was Scotty, but I want to talk about that one and show that one first before we bring everyone on, because that is the best EVP I ever got. It blew my mind away. I was in the attic alone doing an EVP session. My REM pod was going off, and I got this amazing EVP. I heard it. I got chills, and I didn't run out of the attic because I was scared. I ran out of the attic because I was excited and had to tell everyone. But I'm not going to waste any time, and I'm going to go ahead and play this. Here we go. Anymore. Can you touch that again? Can you make it go to green again? Thank you.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything. Just say whatever you like. Go ahead. I think you're scared. Are you scared? How come you're not talking anymore? Okay, I'm not going to say anything. Just say whatever you like. Go ahead. I think you're scared. Are you scared? How come you're not talking anymore?
You hear me in the background say, "What?" Oh, that's crazy, right?
That was wild.
Yeah, that's the best CVP I've ever gotten, ever. So let's bring the team on. Let's
So just
bring
a quick-
on.
I was
Go
going to say,
ahead.
quick reminder, guys, that anybody that's listening or watching, you know, we do hold a lot of public events here at this location.
Yeah, we do.
Where people can join us and see what we do. So our whole team has spent a lot of time here before, during, and after these events. So we do have a lot to talk about. So let's bring them on.
All right, so we are going to start with ladies first. Mrs. 305.
Hey.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
And we have Franny.
Hello.
Hey, Franny.
What's happening?
Renee.
Hey, what's going on, girl?
Miss you.
Long time no see. I know.
I
Miss
know.
you too.
And we got Mr. 305. Making some fire right there.
Sorry.
Oh my
That's
God.
funny, man.
Those guys.
And
Put that
last but not least, we're bringing Joe El Puma.
El Puma.
Yeah, he's drinking it. He got some
With
quick.
the pinky up.
Good evening.
Classy.
What's
I
going
love that
on in the
background.
background there, buddy?
I fell asleep.
Hold on, let's see. Are those sheep? Are you
At
counting
nighttime.
sheep?
Yeah.
Oh, they are sheep. Yeah.
I got my rain sounds playing. I got my mask on. I'm getting some nice
What am I-
Z's up in that attic.
Love
What am I doing back here?
He's getting.
falling
He's
asleep
going near
too.
me.
I'm. It's like the good and evil, like over your right and left shoulder.
Yeah, right. Who's who?
Yeah,
Actually, I
definitely.
think the
determined.
good guy's asleep.
Exactly. So yeah, we got some good evidence to share. I'm gonna show another clip real quick. And like, I've been investigating this place for like a long time. I was on a previous team when we were doing events for them, and then when I came to War Party, then we started doing events for the old Davie Schoolhouse. But like, this is like like a pretty cool response I got doing a spirit box session downstairs in the Viele House. This is probably maybe like the second time I was there investigating. I believe it was like 4 years ago. So I'm going to play that one. And here we go. Now that they're going to be leaving, do you want to say anything? Can you say goodbye? Did that sound like Eric? That's me.
Oh, you are Eric?
Okay, that's the only Eric I'm going to play the whole night. I just want to know what I
You
got
promise?
right off the bat. I promise.
We can get saturated with the Erics.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
definitely. I don't want to get like people like bored. those type of EVPs. But that's the first time like I ever had my name called out. So
Yeah,
I'll
that
show
was
that one.
That's
That's when I was
significant.
christened. And by
Hey,
the
you
way,
can tell your reaction there. You're like, did it just say Eric?
I know. I was like, damn, that's badass. But yeah, everyone's had like a personal experience there. I'm gonna since after me, probably Jenny's like the next person that's investigated. That's probably investigated the next longest. Had a group of us. Jenny, can you tell me like what was like the most memorable paranormal experience you've had there?
Just recently. So the last time we had went there before we did the private at the Warhog Saloon, I did a card pull for that place because there is a hi Heidi. That's funny. Because we did supposedly there's a spirit there that's named Paul Hammer, and
That's right.
there was a medium from Nadia. Her name is Nadia. She comes to our events, super nice, and she belongs in a coven. And she said that that's not Paul Hammer all times.
No,
There's
it's
another
not.
spirit there that tries to, impersonate him, I guess, and maybe play us.
Mhm.
So I did a reading on that, and that kind of came out on my cards when I went. So I wanted to question that night when we did the investigating there,
Mhm.
and he didn't like that I called him out on it. And it was kind of like, I'll see you here. I'll wait for you so we can talk. And when I went there, JP was doing a portal session. He called my name out in a portal session. And there were some little kids that also came out. But that night when we were leaving, we had a friend of ours, Whitney, she might be in a chat. While we were going to go down the first stairs and down the platform, I heard a growl. Like, it stopped me dead on my tracks. It was like right here. And I stopped and I turned around. I said, yo, did you guys hear that? And she turned around. She stopped. She was like, wait, you heard that too? And then I thought it was Armando, but he was in the middle of talking to JP when that happened. So I knew it wasn't him. And then they were asking like, well, what was it? And we had both said at the same time without even saying it. We was like, it was a growl. And we both just looked at each other like, whoa. So it was kind of like, I felt like he was asserting his dominance of being at that house.
Uh-huh.
And that was not the Paul Hammer, spirit, something else, but it was that was like the best thing I've had there yet.
Yeah,
it was
pretty cool.
super, the loudest growl I've heard, like loudest.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like sometimes like we get things that correlate because there's the other house next door and that has activity. Okay, so let me tell everyone. So she mentioned Paul Hammer, and Paul Hammer is the guy that we pick up there. I mean, we got his last name on the Ovulus Hammer, which is pretty ridiculous. Like, how random is that? And like right on cue, like Paul, you're here, and we got Hammer. So Paul Hammer, he lived there for a little while. Back in the intro, they were talking about the hurricane back in 1926. Paul Hammer lived in like down the street in a different house, and his house was destroyed from the hurricanes. And so he spent some time with the Vealies. And we believe that the reason why he still remains there is probably because it was probably one of the most happiest times of his life. So we've gotten some like ridiculous evidence pertaining to Paul. And we get some other spirits there, but we haven't pinpoint who they are. So the next person is, I know he had a pretty cool experience, is El Puma Joe. Tell me your most memorable experience at the Viele House.
I've had quite a few, but one of the ones that comes to mind is actually one that occurred while I was not there. Two of our other teammates, Ryan and Amaris, were up in the attic doing an EVP session. This was before our event. They were up there setting up, doing their thing. So they started doing their EVP session, and they were like, "Oh, do you remember Joe? What do you think of him?" And their response on the EVP was, "I like him." So they kept going, and they're doing all this stuff, and then they get another EVP after that, like to a totally different question, saying, "Joe's coming." So they send me a text message, and they're like, "Hey, are you here?" I was like, "No, I'm down the street. I'm about to get there."
He likes you.
So I pull into the parking lot and they come running downstairs and they're like, you have to hear this. Like, it's like they knew that you were on your way, like coming here. So, we go in and we did our thing, and it was just that it's one of those places that, it just does not disappoint. You get in there and we're always going to get EVPs or stuff on the spirit box. We've done multiple Estes sessions up there, and it always does like some, crazy results.
We've
I
had
remember
we've
the
had
first
guests.
time. I'm
We've
sorry.
had guests there that have felt that they've been touched
Mhm.
while me and Joe were in the attic, and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So-
I got one. I got an EVP on my digital camera, on my night vision camera. We had two guests
me too. Crazy.
up there alone, and I come up and I'm explaining them. They're asking me about a piece of equipment, so I'm explaining it to them, and my camera actually captures an EVP that says, "That's awesome." So it was like one of those like really cool. And I listened, I was like, "You gotta be shit! You gotta be kidding me, man! Like I can't believe that."
You gotta be shitting me.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Skedazzle.
So the next person I want to go to is Franny, but before she talks, she's only been there once, and
Correct.
she had a pretty cool experience, and I'm going to play that right now. Here we go. Can you say someone else's name in this room?
Is there a Freddy in here?
Freddie or Franny?
I thought it said Freddy, but it could have very well been Franny. Franny.
That would be interesting.
That would have been interesting.
I have it on video, so I can play it back.
Yeah. Can you see me where I'm at now? Can you see me bending down? I'm not trying to look up anymore. Do you need to use my energy again? Yes or no?
I'm going to sit on the floor and make you feel more comfortable. Does that make you happy?
Uh-huh. How many spirits are in this room with us right now?
Why is Paul being quiet?
Very quiet. Paul, if you're here, we would love to speak to you. Can you say hello? So I'm specifically looking to speak with Paul. Paul, if you're here, we come to talk to you, just to say hello. Do you want to say hi or no? Hello?
Hello. So one time we were picking up Paul in this room, in this house, and the house next door, which was really weird.
Unbelievable.
So I asked the question, Paul, can you be in both houses at one time? And the response I got was, I'm God.
Yeah.
Paul, you still think you're God?
I think Paul's got a crush on you, Franny.
Yeah, right. Couldn't stop saying it. It's pretty crazy, right?
What's crazy is I never picked up that my name was called that many times. Like I just recall when on the spot because I never got my name called out on location.
He's like, I never get my name called out.
Right. And I always figure it's because my name's long or it takes up too much energy or something. I never thought of my nicknames, but just Francesca itself it's a lot, so I get it. So never get my name called out. And in this one location, it was like on cue. From what I recall, when JP was like, can you say Franny's name? There was a time. I don't think that was shown was that shown? I'm not sure that was shown. It's like, oh, can you say
They
Franny's
said it so many
name?
times, I can't even remember.
Yeah, I don't remember that before.
Yeah, it was like 5 times. Like,
Right,
how
but-
random is that?
Right. And at that time, that's when I recall my name was being called. And I was like shocked. Like, oh my God, my name was called. So that was the first time. But before that, what just shown in those clips, like I never recall my name being called, like even hearing it at the time. Like when just looking back at it, it's like crazy. That's how many times my name was being called even before.
It was a lot.
You're right. Like, it's crazy. I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome.
So you only been there once. So when you first got there, like, and I know you sense things a little bit.
Yeah.
What were you sensing there?
Definitely could tell there was something there. I mean, for sure, definitely in the attic area. In that one area that we're doing the spirit box session as well. I definitely felt more like a heaviness and it's not the location we're discussing, but more like a dark presence, like maybe at the schoolhouse. So I don't know if maybe it's just something that can, like what Jenny was saying earlier, manipulate, or just like, and that's what kind of popped in my head when she was mentioning that. But that's what I picked up at the schoolhouse
Yeah,
more.
we kind of have a theory that
Yeah.
possibly the thing that comes around every once in a while that seems a little bit dark could be from the Native American burial grounds in the area.
I think it stirs things up.
I can believe
Could be
that.
yeah, interesting.
Right.
Yeah. Armando, what about you, bud?
I've had all type of fun experiences at the Viele House downstairs in the attic. I kind of like, there was one session that we did with Ernesto from Modern Mimes, Mike, Jenny, and myself. What we did was we stood in 4 different corners of the attic, and we wanted to see. Oh no, not White Claw. We're drinking the Celsius.
Yes.
Oh my God.
She put the whole crew on.
There's no vodka on that.
Guilty.
This is the peach.
It's
peach
Franny.
mango.
Yes.
Peach mango. This one's
The
good.
best
It
paranormal
amps you up.
energized drink.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's going to be our
That's
new
really good.
sponsor now, Celsius.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Sponsor us.
For real.
Sponsored by
Check
Celsius.
us out, Celsius.
Yeah, I got one in my little thingy right here.
There you go.
You know
I'm
it.
waiting for my order to come in. The meantime, I'm substituting with iced coffee. But
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just realized that it says Armando, aka Young Cafecito, and I thought I was gonna like just die.
Oh my God. I didn't see that.
Young Cafecito.
I love it.
I thought that when you
That's
first
my
came
new
in, I was
rapper
like,
name.
Buddy.
So
Hey,
Armando.
it's not
Armando,
too late to be a rapper.
exactly. Armando, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, so we were all in, we split into the 4 corners of the attic.
And we did an EVP session where each of us asked a question from the different corners, and on our recorders, we all picked up different answers. But it was so cool getting that session, and then Jenny was able to sense that literally there was shadows running like all over the place.
Yeah, we've
It
seen
was
that.
awesome. That was
It
an awesome
nuts.
session.
Yeah, actually, that same time, I think I remember Jenny got her name called on the EVP as well.
That was
Correct.
the first time I ever had my name called there, period. And then after that, it's done. They've done it again.
So
Yeah.
every time I talk.
Huh?
Oh, every
Well, no,
time
I
I
was
talk
saying-
about that session, I call it the color session, because we were doing a EVP session in regards to what was their favorite color, and we kept getting different colors as far as what was the favorite.
Yeah, that's crazy. And
Babe, what were you thinking?
Scotty down below was saying that the kitchen's pretty active too.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, Amaris was there and saw one of the cabinet doors open by itself.
I was
but-
with her.
That's
I actually
cool.
have it on my
Wow.
YouTube.
That's cool.
Huh?
I actually
Okay.
have it on my YouTube. I was with them. And
What?
And that
Yeah,
was the
she-
second time.
So she
Yes, that was
asked
a good time.
Mrs. Veely, "Can you show me where the sugar is located?" And all the doors were shut. And I panned with the camera back, and I said, and I noticed it actually. It moved a little bit, like an inch. And I said, "Did that just move?" And she goes, "Yeah, let's see what's in it." And she opened it up, and the sugar was there.
Oh, man.
That's cool. No,
So-
and I was there when you weren't there, and she was just walking around by herself, and she walked into the kitchen, and she saw the like door open by itself. It's like around Halloween time, I think. But Scotty was saying that it is active there, and actually that spirit box session with the Franny was in the dining room right next to the kitchen.
It is. It just gets
Yeah.
a little crowded in there.
Yeah,
And
but
hot.
but I do have
Yeah.
a clip of something I
Well,
got.
well, hold on
Yeah.
one second, because I'm going
What
to talk
horse
about
is-
my experience there, Eric.
Oh, I was going. You,
Don't forget about me.
I'm not talking about my experience.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
All right. So,
I
I guess the most memorable thing was I was up there at the end of an event, and everybody was packing up out front, and I was kind of lagging behind a little bit to see if I'd catch anything, and there was nobody in the house but me, and I'm in the attic, and this is what happened. I believe something was thrown. Is there anything that you want to tell us? What was that?
Ooh, it
Yeah,
it
that
almost
was.
sounded like something manipulated the ironing board. It's almost what it sounds like.
Like when it goes.
Yeah,
That was really
exactly. Exactly. And if at the end of the video you see the ironing board kind of like leaning up on the piece of wood
Or
Good,
something got, or something thrown,
or something got thrown.
Thrown
Got
at,
it.
yeah, moved it.
or something. But I mean, it was loud. I mean, the video doesn't do it justice. It was loud. I mean, you heard me. I got kind of spooked. I was like, Eric just dropped out.
I think maybe his connection.
Yeah, he'll be right back in.
I don't know about you guys. It's storming pretty bad up here this way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's pretty clear skies here
Maybe
on my
he
coast.
lost connection there.
All right, no worries. So while we wait for him to get back, let's run the Estes session. That it's 2 minutes long, so I'll give him some chance to come back. And this is an Estes session that Joe and I conducted in the attic here, and we're gonna play it. Just in time. All right, we're at the historic Viele House in Davie, Florida. It's 9:32 p.m. War Party Paranormal. Joe and Mike, and we're going to be doing the Estes method. Joe, can you hear me? Joe, can you hear me? All right, you can go ahead and start recording. So he can't hear me. Actually, I hear yeah, we're good to go. There's a thumbs up. All right, so Paul, are you here? Paul Hammer, come talk to me.
Hello?
Hey Paul, how you doing? Why do you keep telling us to get out?
I heard him.
You heard who?
Is that Joe?
Yep, that's Mike and Joe.
Big and old.
Talk about me? Hey Paul, we're gonna get going, buddy, or whoever we're talking to.
Her laugh.
I think there's children here.
Help me.
So whoever we're talking to, we're gonna say goodbye. We're gonna probably get going, and we also want to let you know you cannot follow any of us, especially the children. You have to stay here. This is where you live, and you do not have permission to follow any of us or to leave this premises. You have to stay here, okay? We'll come back and visit.
That's impossible.
It's not possible. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
Big and old. I love you too, Scotty.
Big and old.
I just want to say, give a huge props to Mike and Joe every time they do the Estes, man. It's literally a thing to watch.
To kill it.
I tried it my first time, and it takes a lot out of you, man. And you guys knock it out of the park every single time. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you, man. I mean, it just kind of came natural with Joe's, being sensitive and he has like a really good ear for hearing stuff coming through the spirit box and that, and just with the way that me and him interact with each other on a regular basis, just doing the Estes, it's kind of comes so natural. And then now with the Delco experiment, I'm interested to do some more of that as well.
Definitely.
Joe, can you do me a quick favor? During that session, I could only fit in 2-minute clips. So there was a couple times where you said you saw a face. Do you remember what you saw?
So that session is this session right here where I'm sleeping.
Where you're sleeping.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nighty night.
So when I do the Estes, I'd say most of the time I get pretty intense visuals, and I distinctly remember that night because that night was the first time that through the visuals that I was having, I actually saw the entire attic.
Wow.
I could, I'm blindfolded, and when I do it, I also keep my eyes closed as well. But I remember, like, I guess through my mind's eye, just seeing the entire attic, and I could see like the shapes of like where everybody was standing or sitting. Like I remember, I could see Mike next to me. That we had, I think, like 2 or 3 other guests with us at that point, and then at the far right end of the attic, which is actually we're by the stairs past that area, I just remember seeing a glowing figure, like just a glowing mass, kind of like poking out from behind like one of like the posts and then going back. And earlier that night, around the same area, actually just adjacent to that, I had seen some other movement going up, like back there, some shadows kind of like moving forward, looking out, and then dropping back, and then going forward. Like I was literally standing there for like 10 minutes. I think we were doing like an EVP session. Everybody's watching them, and I'm just looking at this corner. And I forgot who was it. Like what the hell are you looking at? I was like, there is a figure like just coming up and dropping back. I can't see any features. I just see like the shape. But I mean, that attic is just, I mean, that whole property really. I think, we've gotten stuff in the kitchen. We've gotten stuff in the very front room when you walk into the house on the right.
Yeah.
That house is just so freaking active. And Scotty was saying the kitchen. And I remember we were there another night with guests. It was one of our events, and I think it was me, Scotty, and I forgot who else were doing EVP sessions in there. And we had a couple people, and with the guests there, one of the cabinet doors opened up on us. And we were like, we were asking, there was a kid and he like freaked out. We're like, did you bump it? Did you like lean? He's like, I'm not touching it. Like, I'm not even like closer. Like he was a good, like 6-8 inches away from that thing. And the door just popped open.
Isn't that wild?
It's freaking nuts. Like I remember I was like looking, I was like, what the hell? Like really? Like,
was that in the front room right when you walk in on the left?
No, this was when that happened. That was in the kitchen. We were doing EVPs in the kitchen because for some reason, we get a lot with our ST25s in that kitchen, especially if we put it down on like the stove. We'll put it down. Scotty, that's something that Scotty like always like was like, just go in there, drop your ST25, let it run, and then just walk out. And you come back and you're gonna have something on it. And I was like, yeah, well, whatever. And sure as hell, every time we go play it back, there would be something on there. Like
she kind of told me the same thing, and I've tried it, and it's almost like you hear like chatting,
like a conversation,
like two people talking to each other, like two spirits talking to each other. It's wild, really wild.
And it's like, oh, maybe it's somebody in the front room. It's like, no, like we've done it. It's just us in the house. Or dead quiet, like we know.
The last time
during EVP session, like
the last time I did it, me and Scotty were out front smoking a cigarette, and we put the recorder, and I walked out of the house and shut the door, and there was nobody even in the house. So that's mind blowing right there, right? Hey, and there's like 2 rooms when you first walk in the house. There's a room to the left that you were just mentioning, and then there's another room in the back, and in that back little room there's a little area with like a crib and some dolls, and it looks so creepy. And every time I've ever done an EVP session down there or in there or put anything, I've never got anything ever. But it looks super spooky, and you think that it would be like a spot, but it's just nothing dead.
The first room that I was mentioning, a lot of people sometimes they see like kind of something move in there, and they're like they want to go in there, but they just feel like off in there.
The sewing room to the right when you walk into the house.
When you first walk in, right?
The left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that room I feel a little weird more. The right one I feel comfortable. I don't know. Like I've set up my equipment there and everything. Yeah.
I've always felt comfortable in the house. I've never really had it. The only place on that property that I have really felt uncomfortable was in the actual school.
Yeah. I feel weird. Yeah, definitely.
So real quick, I know Eric kind of touched on it earlier, but the whole way that we found out about Paul Hammer was, like he said, we were getting EVPs, all of us. Like, hey, would you, because we'll talk at the end of the night. Hey, would you get? I got the name Paul. Well, I did too. What? And then we started getting Hammer on different things, Ovilus, different devices, EVPs, and we're thinking, wait, did Paul get hit with a hammer? Or like, what's going on? Like, so we asked Kim, which is one of the historians there that knows that the properties like the back of her hand, and we told her, like, we were like, hey, this is what we're getting, and she goes, and she's the one that told us, wow, there was a guy named Paul Hammer that that passed, and I'm actually missing one part. We had our friend Carly pulling tarot cards about the attic, and she pulled the poison card twice, and we didn't know what that meant either. And then when we went to Kim and we told her, she goes, yeah, Paul Hammer got bit by a snake twice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He made it the first time, and the second time,
and I mean that story right there, and that's all factual. It is still the wildest story. I mean, I could say today that lines up with anything with the history that we didn't have any idea about, and just investigating it so often that we do. I mean, that's just wild, right?
That's great.
No, right? Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, I've had people ask me, like, I've done podcasts and different things, and people ask me, like, hey, you went to Waverly, you went here. What's the craziest? Like, what's the most active spot? And I almost want to say it's whatever one that we're going to consistently. Like, if that's the most active, right? Like, do you guys feel that way? Like, when we're doing, say we're doing, History Fort Lauderdale consecutively back to back, and the more times that we go there, the more responses we get, the more EVPs we get.
Yeah, I think they're getting comfortable with us.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
They start building that trust or bond that they know who you are and start kind of picking up on your vibe itself. I think I agree.
Because we wouldn't even be there, and we get our names called there on EVPs.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Joe was saying earlier.
Yeah, I was driving up to the place, and it's like, Joe's coming.
Joe's coming.
How the hell do they know that I'm coming? I'm like, down the block.
Spirit knows.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think Paul was messing with us or with Eric one night. He was out of town, and Joe and I were in the attic by ourselves. I almost uploaded the clip, but I didn't. And Joe was like, do you miss Eric? And we played the EVP. I could have said, who's Eric? And we started laughing because about him with his EVPs. It says Eric. We're like, oh, he's messing with him. Yeah. But I was hoping he'd jump back in here. I was just texting him. He said his computer died and he's restarting it and logging back in. Because I didn't want to play in these clips without him being here, because he kind of had them lined up. But let's see what else we got. Let's run something else here, and hopefully he'll pop up here. That one.
Captain, yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say Captain has a good question there.
Oh,
especially there. That property. Like Paul.
Yes.
We've got Paul in all three buildings on that property.
Yeah.
So we feel that he jumps. I think I've also gotten Margaret is another name that I've gotten there multiple times in both the Viele House and in the Walsh House right next door.
So there was an EVP session that I did with Eric in the attic, and I asked Paul, how come you're able to move around between the Walsh House and the schoolhouse and here? And then he goes, I'm God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was messing with you.
Yeah, like, oh, you're going to be an a-hole about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a response.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the most predominant
spirits
in that area for sure.
And he's funny.
Yeah. And like I do agree with Jenny and what she was saying about with some of the other mediums and stuff that have come into the building have said that that's not who you think it is. You know, not always. A couple of them said that. I can't remember who else said it, but you know, we get guests that come out that that are, you know, into the paranormal as well, and this is a way for them to get access to these locations, so they'll come out and join us on our events, and we've heard that multiple times. I mean, that's what do you guys, what do you think about that? Like, what do you guys say? Like, do you really think that there is two like the real Paul, and then we're getting somebody that's mimicking Paul?
Yes.
Yeah, big time.
Because we're asking for that name so many times, it wants that attention.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Nadia and her crew, they were the first ones that were like, hey, this guy is now who you think he is. So then,
and she actually warned that there was like not a good spirit.
Yeah.
And that with the whole growl thing. Yeah.
And then then the spirit, I do a EVP session, and he's like, leave, but like to them. And then I go, why do you want them to leave? And then spirit goes, oh, why don't you ask them why I want them to leave? And then that's when Nadia told us, hey, this and this and this. He's a mimic is what he is.
Right.
Wow.
We called it out. Yeah.
And you're right? Because we're always there. We're like, we're asking, is Paul here? Is Paul here? And these other spirits are like, yeah, I'm Paul. What's up? Right? Like
I can be your Paul. Want me to be your Paul for tonight?
Yeah, exactly. I'll be whatever you want to call me. It looks like Eric's back. He's just fiddling around over there.
Eric!
Where are you at, Eric?
He's in the back.
Mike, what I did want to say as well, I think the other reason why Spirit wants to talk to us pretty much is because of the way we treat them. We don't really bully them like a lot of these shows that you see on TV. Like, come over here now on a recording. We don't do that.
No, it's disrespectful. It's not right, and it's not, you know, obviously, and plus, you know, we have guests there. We're leading by example, and I always say that you get more bees with honey, right?
Yeah.
You know, we're always. Go ahead.
Kill them with kindness.
No, I was gonna say it's all about building that connection, you know.
Right.
Exactly. You got to. They're people, right? If somebody comes into my house and starts saying, "Get over here and talk to me," how old are you? What are you? I'll be like, "What?
Show me your presence." It's like,
exactly.
Like, who are you? Get out of my house. Right.
You know, but if somebody walks in and you know, obviously, you know, I'm not going to be super happy that people are just walking in anyway. But if they did, and they're like, "Hey, is there anybody here? I just wanted to say hi." You know, I would be like, "All right, hey, hello," right? I mean, people don't think like that. You got to think you're walking into somebody's house. This is their house. This is where they live. They're attached to this property. So, you know, we'd always try to be with the utmost respect. And you know, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to plug my YouTube. But the last video with Joe and I were just in Savannah, and I have a lot of footage of Joe talking, opening up the session, saying, "Hi, we're here." And it's a really good way to see how we communicate and how we talk and present ourselves, you know.
True.
Right.
Eric, you coming in, buddy?
And explain, like, hey, like, you know, we're here out of respect. We're not here to disrespect you. Like, you know, we're not, you know, we're not here to stir stuff up. Like, we want to know that you are here and we respect you. And if you want to come through, great. If you don't, that's fine too. You know, like,
Eric, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I think I had my laptop on overload with all these USBs plugged into it, so it died. Now, like, it's taking forever to restart, so I got on my phone.
We're all right, man. We
That's the background.
we hung in there.
I like your green screen.
Yeah, I know, right? This what looks like in real life.
It's like when they turn the lights on in Disney.
Kat said you took a
It's for party themed colors, you know, green. You put that green in there. Represent.
Who's that sexy
guy? All right,
Cafecito.
Eric, are you?
Hook me up, bro.
I might talk to my mic, but it's coming through my phone.
That's a nice chalice you got there.
Thank you. It's my my Slytherin house challenge.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I love
I thought you were going to Oktoberfest.
it. She's here for
Eric, can you play your clips from where you're at now on the phone?
No, but I'll be I'm hopping in the studio now, so I'm gonna sign off here.
All right, Bubba.
Bye, Eric.
Bye, Eric.
Oh,
Bye.
and we lost him.
Thanks for everyone for sticking through us with us for these technical difficulties. We appreciate you all. And,
Never a dull moment.
Never a dull
Always
moment.
a fun time on War Party Paranormal Radio.
yeah.
We
Ghost
just wing it.
and laugh.
We just wing it.
Heck yeah,
That's
man.
it.
It's entertainment.
That's the best way.
We do the
that's
best
what
we
do.
can.
So I'm gonna run this clip here. I have no idea what it is. EVP cat ball ovulus.
Have you got anything on it? I have that, but that is ooh, that was the first thing since I started having a pen. What's it? Sign? This has not done anything in like 15 years. It hasn't done anything since the whole time we were here. No. So when the multiple there you go.
Was that the sign?
So when that's weird, right? I think that's something at the end. Good. What do you think of sound? That sounds like yes twice. Yeah. 2 affirmatives.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was. So we've been.
I just got chills. Whew.
Eric, can we hear you? You there?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
There you go.
Tell us
All right.
about that clip, Bubba.
All right. So that clip is I don't know. I think we were talking to Paul Hammer at the time, and the cat ball went off, and I asked if that was when we were talking. The cat ball goes off while it's filming, and I asked if that was a sign, and I got sign on the on my camera, an EVP sign, and then Ryan had the ovulus, got sign on the ovulus at the same time.
Yeah.
And then I was asking if that was a sign, I believe, and it said yes.
Scotty's right.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. That was a clear yes too. Absolutely. And
I'm just trying to get myself situated.
What was that?
Going.
That was here.
You like that shot? There we go. That's better.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Like you never
Take
left.
10.
It's like magic.
Hey, do you want to? Do
Is
you want
Mike-
to?
Yeah, we'll try a different room. Sounds like I do. When I say you don't like it in the kitchen, you don't like it in the kitchen. Yeah. It sounds like I do.
Oh wow.
You know
Look
what's
at
crazy
Rich.
is
Oh, yeah.
Rich. You could see Rich like in the first video, his beard was here, and then now it's like here. And now you're like here. You can see like the progression
The progression.
Yeah.
of Rich's
For
awesome
real.
beard. And I have beard envy. If he's there, if you're out there watching, I'm jealous of your beard, brother.
I wish we could have done like a time lapse of his beard. Just
Killing
That would
Yeah,
be
right.
Really.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that EVP it said I do
Boo.
is wild. Oh, where is he?
Oh.
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 There he is.
What's happening here?
You scared me.
It's the ghost. It's the spirits. I got something attached to me.
Ectoplasm.
Right.
Rich is laughing in the chat.
ectoplasm.
Oh.
You guys.
I don't want to talk.
You know what, Mike? I think I'm gonna let you take the lead. I don't even know what's been run already. Which videos?
All right, so let me see where we got.
Oh, we're getting close to that time, by the way. Just a reminder.
Do it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
All right. Okay. So real quick,
really
we're gonna be
fast.
We're gonna be airing off the KGRA network in a few minutes. So I just want to let our listeners know their next show is going to be starting. But if you want to continue to watch us, you can watch it on the War Party Paranormal YouTube page. But big shout out to KGRA. Just remember that they got amazing shows on there that you need to watch, from UFOs, cryptics,
The Brady Bunch,
etc. Right?
Oh, I was thinking of that. We're 3 short from Brady Bunch.
CD. Yeah.
3 short.
And we got the squares going on. Just like
Anybody in the chat? 3 people. Let's go.
Yeah. We need an Alice, a Bobby, and a little lady. Don't even remember her name.
Little lady.
The maid or whatever she is.
Alice. That's Alice. She's the maid.
Were you talking about the mom, Jane?
No,
I forgot her name.
The youngest daughter. I was gonna say Susie, but that's not right.
No, I think you're right.
I think it is Susie.
Yeah.
No.
I think it's Susan. No?
Susan.
Come on, chat.
She looked like a Susan.
No, Alice is the maid.
She looked like Karen.
Is it Susan?
Cindy. Thank you, Scotty. See?
Cindy.
Yes. How we're so off. How do we get S with C?
All right, Eric, we went through all the clips. The last one we have is the one that says it's labeled EVP.
Thank you to everybody saying Cindy.
Attic. No one. So I'm going to go ahead and roll it, and then I'm going to let Eric explain what
real quick before you do that. I just want to let people know that real quick, little commercial, 30-second commercial. A bunch of us are going to Virginia City, Nevada for Pair Experience 2022. Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, all you got to do is type in that down there. Yeah, 279-8256-5502 ?
No, I'm gonna let that roll for a little bit so people can see it. If you're interested in going, it's a really cool para conference. Basically, what makes it different is different. Why is it different than the others? Is you're going to be able to go to multiple different locations and investigate with teams from all over the world. So. We have to throw that in there.
Get to investigate with us.
Yeah. So let's continue with these comedians here.
Never seen that one before, right? That's why you're so intrigued by it. So let's see what we got. What? Oh, sounds like no one. Listen.
There you go. No one
didn't like anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
He's very sarcastic. You guys talked about that.
Oh yeah.
He's got a little sense of humor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's funny as hell. Wait, 2 minutes and then we could say all the S's and the F's and all this stuff, right?
Yeah, the S's and the F's.
Definitely.
2 minutes. Counting down the seconds.
So
Stuff and fruit.
After hour program, after hours.
So we're going to come out with other episodes of the other locations there. Those will be their own individual shows. We'll do a show on our investigation in the schoolhouse, the old Davie Schoolhouse, and the Walsh House as well.
Yeah, the Walsh House is crazy, right? It's real hit or miss. You either go there and it's fire, or you go there and there's hey Wheezy. Hi Wheezy.
Oh. I had a rapper.
Oh my god.
He's moving on.
What's up, Mike? He's like, Mike, feed me.
About the Walsh House. Personally, I get so much more in the Walsh House than I do at the Viele House, and we get a lot of stuff at the Viele House.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I get every time I walk in there, it's
Oh my god.
Cat butt.
Cat butt.
Cat ass.
Cat
Got a
ass,
cat ass in my
exactly.
face.
10.
Kibbles and bits.
This is a strange
What?
night.
It's after 10 o'clock.
We
It's
don't
funny.
care.
Freaking
Yeah, no, we're
Joe.
good. He said we're in the clear.
I'm gonna
We
flash
good,
my
we good.
ass at the camera.
I'm gonna
I know
take
we're
my shirt off
live.
and get comfortable. All right.
Right.
All right, let him fly.
No, I'm
Let him
kidding.
fly.
Good times, good times, good times, y'all.
Oh, here, kitty.
All right, where were we? Next show we'll bring on
we're
dogs
losing our
and dog
marbles.
ass.
Kibbles and bits.
Right.
No, Maggie's a lady.
A nice cat ass next week. Dog ass.
Maggie's a lady.
Oh, she's back.
Oh, there we go. More ass.
Oh,
Shaking that
Zero.
thing.
0 F's given.
It's like that.
Even
No
showed her.
shame. No
She
shame
heard
in
her
that
talking
game.
crap and was like,
No, she always tries to jump up here, and I always kind of like just push her off screen. Like, but
She
the way
dodges your
tonight's going,
hand.
I'm like, you know what? Come on, bring it.
you can
She's
say
like
the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
The cat's out of the bag.
But I'm bummed.
Hey.
Hey, pun.
Hey, I'll be here for the next half hour or so.
By the way, that's the way that El Puma prowls through the night on an investigation.
Exactly.
Yes, with,
Very
with my
nice.
butt up, just like that.
Exactly.
People always ask, wild puma. That's exactly why. That's
One of the
why.
reasons.
Please
Sorry,
have your
if
pets
anybody
faded and
knows
neutered.
Two Live Crew, I'm thinking about a song right now. Face down. All right.
Oh, God.
That'll be our next paranormal tip of the week. We'll bring Uncle Luke.
Uncle
Give it,
Luke.
give it a little Miami flair.
Yeah, we can go see if we can get an Uncle Luke EVP.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Oh my god.
We'll bring on Trick Daddy Dollars.
Exactly.
That's a trigger object.
Exactly.
Oh Lord.
All right, guys. Well, this was a nightmare.
I hope everyone had a good time.
This is exactly how our chats are too. Like
Okay,
our like
so
writing
let's open up some questions in the chat. The captain,
There we
Yeah.
go. Good
he
thinking.
wants to know how long do we typically stay at a location for an investigation?
That's a really good question.
Until we get kicked out.
Well, it
Literally.
depends.
Fair, fair.
I'll answer that question. The thing is when we do these events, we don't get paid money to do these events. The way they pay us is giving us free time to investigate, just the team only. So a lot of these clips you saw are from our events. We try to keep the group small and we investigate while they're there. So, I mean, that's fun for us as well. But it depends on the location. Like, for example, the Gold Coast Railroad Museum, we can do an overnight there and stay there overnight. So we can stay there pretty much as long as we want. And it's also the guard situation. So if there's a guard there and they shut it down at night, then we can leave like at 5:30 in the morning. For Old Davie, it's normally like if we do a private, maybe like 4 hours. And that's pretty much with all the other locations as well.
You know, and then
That's
if
not
we're
count-
doing, go ahead.
That's not counting time to get there early and actually set up equipment and
Yeah.
do all that.
Just walk around.
Just walk around. Mhm.
Try to open it up and
Or if we go like to an abandoned location or a cemetery, we just stay as long as we feel like it. Get
And then when
tired,
it
go
comes to
home.
residentials and stuff, like, you know, we've talked about before, we'll usually do a preliminary where we'll go, and it's not a very long thing. We'll go for about an hour. We'll talk to the people. We'll scope out the area. We'll leave. We'll come back, and then maybe it's a couple hours, and then you know, and then we'll come back at a later date, and you know, things of that nature. But yeah, and our public events, they're usually what 7 to 10, 7 to 11, depending on the location. But yeah.
Nice,
And,
Cap.
Appreciate
Thank you,
you. Cap.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
Cap, man, we really appreciate you. You're always
Yeah.
putting our stuff out there, and we appreciate your support. You're the man.
Yeah, and he's not
Yes,
the only
I'm the-
one. There's Cassie from Willow Paranormal.
Dance
Weeping Willow.
X.
Weeping Willow.
Yep,
You guys
and
are awesome.
Weeping
Thanks.
Willow. Weeping Willow Paranormal.
Check her
me.
out.
Don't worry, girl, I got you.
Check her out. She's on YouTube.
Oh my god. Sorry,
Facebook,
guys.
Instagram.
Hold on. Well,
Uh-oh.
Breach. Checking.
It's code red.
Do they know where she's at?
They found
People
the
know where she's at.
She's at work.
She's at
Where
work.
does she work?
Work. I don't know if I'm at liberty to say where
Oh
she
no,
works.
it's top secret.
Top
It's
secret.
government. That's all I can say. Government.
We could tell you, or we'd have to
Yeah.
kill you.
Exactly.
I will literally leap into this camera. Look at me. I will leap into this camera and do nothing.
Look at me.
Look at me.
Pull that Robert's hair or something.
You talking to me?
Like, like Meet the Fox.
Well,
Like,
You talking to me? You have to do like this.
You talking to me?
You talking to me?
You're talking to me.
I have
Wise
nipples,
guy.
Greg. Can you milk me?
All right, so
Lord.
I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Wait,
we're gonna let it.
Heidi wants to know, how do we sign up for Ghostly Vegas Palooza?
Ooh.
Heidi.
That I don't know.
It sounds fun.
But you
Google.
can go to Parax, where I'm looking. No, War Party.
Oh wait,
It's
Para
gonna come up
Experience,
soon.
Virginia City, Nevada.
Oh, you're talking
How
about
Yes.
cool is that?
Heck yeah.
They're gonna do the
We're
Mackey,
going-
You get to investigate the Mackey Hotel, the
Wash
Piper Opera House, the Silver Queen Hotel, and I think there's one more, and they're
The
actually
Washoe
working
Club?
on a few more. I think the
Washoe
Washoe
Club.
Club as well. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So-
I would say the easiest way to find the stuff for PAX and Paranormal Experience is on the social media. If you just search for
PX
Yeah.
paraexperience.com.
yeah, and then if you do on the social media too, there's links to get
Mhm.
tickets. And all
Yeah,
that
and
stuff.
actually it's .net. There it is right there.
Yeah.
Bam.
Check it
That's
out.
where you can find tickets. Check it out. Actually, Patty Negree is going to be there.
Yes.
You get to investigate with her. You get to do a reading with her and a seance as well. So how cool is that? How many para conferences do you go to and you get to do that? So
And she's
and then real quick before I get everyone to like plug their stuff, don't forget our brand spanking new website, warpartyparanormal.com. Thanks to that dude right there, our friend Mike, did a kick-ass job on it.
Thank you guys.
We got a lot of cool links there. It's a work in progress. We're going to put some other links as well.
Actually, you know what I
Sausage
added on
links.
there? I added on there too, where you can go and you can listen to our pre-recorded podcast from this show. If you go up there and
Exactly.
hit listen, you can click on it and you can find all our podcasts from previously recorded shows.
Yep, definitely. All right, so we'll start off with plugging our stuff. We'll start down there with Franny. Go ahead.
Hello. So you can definitely find me on YouTube, Supernatural Eye. Instagram is Supernatural Eye _ so Supernatural _ Eye. And that's where you can find me at. And shout out to season 2 be coming soon. So look out for the trailer. We'll be dropping.
Yeah, definitely go check out Franny's stuff on YouTube. She's got great episodes, great locations, good stuff.
Great
And-
interviewer. Great
Yeah,
interviewer.
I'm
Good
on
interview.
that
Where's
too.
my interviewer here? And best editor up there. So check him out. Check him
And
out.
it's really cool because Franny does the episodes, and I don't get to see it. And then I just I come in and I do a recorded interview, and I've never met some of these people before, so it really is like a non-biased thing. I just go through and ask them questions about their experiences, and that's tied into the end of her episode. So it's really kind of neat. It's you should check it out. It's definitely pretty cool.
Yep. And this one's going to be more War Party related, right?
Yeah, season 2. So it's all based about and where my psychology incorporates too. It's like your cognitive memory, what you memorized throughout these experiences. It's been so many years, and Mike just follows up as a non-biased perspective and interviews. For season 2, I'm going to be changing it up, of course, because it's based on our team members. So you'll be seeing these guys a lot on it. So we just got to figure out the A game of how to interview these fellow team members and not make it unbiased. But I'm going to be changing it up a little bit for season 2. But it's definitely going to be based about me starting off my experience with the team and how I joined the team and everything else.
I want to give a shout out to Lonnie. I'm glad we're giving you some good laughs tonight.
Hey, Lonnie.
Yeah.
Hey, the paranormal has to be fun. Can't be all serious. This is how we are when we go out and investigate. This is like the way it is. So
Bring the cat back.
yeah, bring the cat. Except we don't bring the cat. And Mr. Young Cafecito, aka Mr. 305.
So Jenny just texted me that there was a fire alarm, so they pretty much had to go. So she wanted to say thank you to everybody that watched and chatted with us. As far as what we have going on, so we have our 305 Paranormal on YouTube, IG, on TikTok. Jenny's actually doing tarot card readings and posting that on TikTok. And we have some short investigations that we'll be posting up on YouTube as well coming up soon.
Cool.
Very, very cool.
Check them out. And
Jose.
Mr. Joe.
Sí, buenas noches. Muchas gracias por mirando el programa. You could find me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Joe Hunts Ghosts. And very soon I am coming out with a new podcast. It's called Greetings from Florida. It's going to be basically showcasing the weird history and weird ass place that is Florida. So I hope that you guys
look at us.
Have a listen to us. I mean, yeah, look at it exactly. Look at us.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I'm super excited for Joe's podcast.
So am I.
Joe is a wealth of knowledge. And he's really going to dig in deep and get into the nitty gritty and the details of some of the stuff. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome.
It's funny. I was actually talking to Jenny Armando yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I'm writing up, finishing writing episode 1. And the more I'm like, okay, I'm done with this section. And then I'm like, shit, there's something new. That's interesting. I got to add that. And it's like, now it's like, I have I have about 10 pages written so far.
Wow.
For one episode. And I'm like, okay, now I got to scale it back.
Scale it down. Yeah.
So.
We may have added to that too, so I apologize.
No, well, you added a topic, which is great because I literally have a notebook here with just topics, and you can't see it, damn it. But let's just say 2 columns, one here, and then on the back side as well.
Nice.
So.
And the backside. Don't forget the backside.
And the backside. Yeah, never forget the backside.
Don't forget about Joe's backside.
That's the money maker.
Beautiful thing.
I've
seen it.
Beautiful.
I'm blinded. Gotta wear your sunglasses. Why do you think Mike has sunglasses on all the time?
Exactly.
Yeah,
his eyes are already messed up.
But I'm surprised he survived Savannah with vision.
Way to put it. His eyes are already messed up.
So, Brother Mike, tell them what you got going on.
So, I'm probably most active on Instagram, do a little TikTok here and there, and been mainly focusing on my YouTube stuff. It's easier to go right to the website and has links for everything right there. Check out some of my latest episodes on YouTube. It's been putting a lot of time and effort into making them entertaining, yet keeping to the main, evidence and making it where there's no BS. What I'm showing is what we caught. So I'd really love it for you guys to check it out, subscribe, and we appreciate you here on this show and watching and tuning in and following us. You guys are awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And we really appreciate you guys, and it means a lot.
And if you haven't checked it out, go take a look at Mike's newest video from our investigation at the Sorrel Weed House in Savannah. It is freaking awesome.
That was
it's a short one too. It's like 15 minutes.
But man, cool. That place was so freaking active. It's
never disappoints, right? It's like I love that place.
And
that's so cool.
That whole city.
Yeah, literally. It's like you feel like everyone's going in. That's cool.
And that was the first time a tripwire has ever been used in the Sorrel Weed House.
Yeah. So, really?
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
That was cool.
I'm so proud of you guys.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Well, that anomaly that you caught was pretty amazing.
Yeah. That is wild.
That's all I'm going to say.
Captures, I'm
you gotta
like,
watch it.
That's sick. Yeah.
Eric, you got something new dropping here soon too, right?
I sure do. And you can follow me, Ghost Hunter of South Florida, IG, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube.
/2253674 question mark space dash alpha numeric.
No,
space.
it's just Ghost Hunter of South Florida. I keep it simple. We don't add any dashes, but I do have something new coming out. We were just recently last week doing a story for the Latino network, Univision in English, and for the show Primer Impacto in English. And we investigated the Angry Warthog Saloon. It used to be a police station / courthouse / jail, but I'm coming out before that airs with a YouTube video of us investigating it. I'll be announcing the date soon. I'm working on it, and it'll be done soon. So get ready for that one.
I'm actually super excited to see this because you guys did.
Well, Joe and Mike haven't been there yet.
Yeah, I haven't been.
You guys got to make it out
you guys have been. I've had other things going on, so I'm super excited to check it out, and I'm really excited to watch your video because I want to see what kind of evidence you guys captured doing the experiment.
Yeah, we did the Delco experiment, Armando.
Yeah, I didn't know if you
got
wanted to say, but yeah,
I won't say what we got, but we did get something awesome. So, and it was bilingual too, so that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
get it
spoiler free. We're spoiler free here. You gotta tune in. You gotta check it out.
Yeah, definitely. And so I'm dusting off my YouTube and trying to resuscitate it back to life. So
resuscitate it.
So subscribe and like on everything on my YouTube page. And also, I also got to give a shout out to War Party Paranormal, the actual team. We're going to be having another Univision show coming out probably the following month. We got another reminder, the new website, new look. And War Party Paranormal can be found on Facebook, Instagram, and of course, YouTube because you're watching it from there. And also KGRA Network, most importantly, because they
keep the lights on.
They keep the lights on, exactly. And we're very gracious for letting us do a show on their network. So give them a follow, and you can go to KGRA Network, and they have some awesome shows. So you got to check them out. Did I leave anything out?
No, you covered it, man.
I'm pretty thorough. Okay. So, Mike, you want to take this thing
home?
You want to shut it down?
Let's
dance. Last chance.
Yeah.
I don't know the words. Come on, one more time.
Oh, I need you.
Oh.